Hello, everybody. Welcome to an episode of B Sharp and C. Welcome to another day in our special spot in the Milky Way. It's kind of funny. I almost don't know how to act now that this podcast is video only, and I got to make an episode. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is put this episode because I'm not going to show any video clips. I'm just going to put music out there. So I'm going to put this episode as video and I'll put it onto Spotify also. But for all of my fans who are listening to this on just the audio streaming services, Spotify, iTunes, whatever the case is, there are a lot of services. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm moving everything over to a video only experience, and you'll have to go to my YouTube channel. I know that this might not be ideal for some people. I find that the video experience is better for me. I find that when I want to put clips into the podcast, it's easier for me to do that with a video experience. I can just show someone something or I can put up an interview. So I really don't think I'm going to continue to have the podcast on audio streaming services. So if you listen to me on iTunes or Amazon or Spotify or whatever, know that I am moving this podcast only over to YouTube, and that's where it's going to stay. Now, this episode of B Sharp and C, what do we need to B Sharp and C? We need to B Sharp and C the actual best song of the Doors. Yes, the secret best song of the Doors. This has bothered me for decades, actually. I've been a Doors fan since, my God, since I first heard them. So going back to mid 90s, right? So I was in high school. I graduated in 96. So maybe like early 90s. So I've been a Doors fan since probably 92. Wow. That's actually about 30 years. I've been a Doors fan. And you know what's funny? I like their hits. Don't get me wrong. I like their hits. There's a song out there called The Soft Parade that they do. And not only is it underrated, it's just like not rated. It's like the forgotten song from the Doors. And this is what I like about it. Number one, it changes. And I know that a lot of people look at Bohemian Rhapsody and they're like, oh my God, there's so many changes. It turns into opera and then it goes into rock and then it does this and it does that. I'm not knocking Bohemian Rhapsody, all right? But the amount of bands that did long songs that change throughout the song before Queen did Bohemian Rhapsody is almost uncountable. Really. I think Bohemian Rhapsody struck a chord with people because it was just perfectly done and it came at the right time. But there were so many songs that metamorphosed and changed throughout a 7 or 8 minute period. I mean, if you look at Pink Floyd, they've been doing it since the mid '60s, for crying out loud. And I mean, and they did get credit for it, but they kind of like got lumped into like this category as a band, like, oh, they're psychedelic, or they're like progressive rock or psychedelic progressive rock. And I don't know. I'm just going to get right into it. This song by The Doors, to me, is the best thing they've ever done. There's the Soft Parade, and then the rest of The Doors music. So I'm just going to play the song. I'm not going to play the whole song. What I'm going to do is break it up. All right. And it starts off with him kind of pretending to be like a preacher or something. And it's weird because it sounds like he's being anti-religious. From what I understand, he wasn't an anti-religious person, but whatever the case is, this is how the song starts. So let's take a listen to the song.
in seminary school, there was a person there who put forth the proposition that you can petition the Lord with prayer. Petition the Lord with prayer. Petition the Lord with prayer. You cannot petition the Lord with prayer.
Oh, I love this.
Can you give me sanctuary? I must find a place to hide, a place for me to
Ready?
hide.
There's a little bit of a build-up here. Hear that? For the second verse.
Can you find...
Now, I'm going to stop the song. If you want to enjoy this song, you can just go to YouTube or any streaming service or buy the vinyl. It's The Doors' Soft Parade. I think it's 1969. I don't know what year it is. I'll put the information down below. You can click on it. You know, for the YouTube listeners, for the Spotify listeners, come to YouTube. Follow me on YouTube. And it's Artie Astor on YouTube. And the podcast will be moving here, so I'll put all the links down below. Talk about just a weird beginning, first of all. You can tell he had a lot of emotion and a lot of... I feel, and especially when I just feel like he had a lot of anger. And I mean, he was an incredibly complex man. Jim Morrison was. So, the anger that he had could have been anger that he had built up towards himself, towards other things. But he was definitely a very complex person. And this song is just constructed very beautifully. Now, you hear what it sounds like. It sounds like this weird, medieval... I don't know what it sounds like, right? Asylum. But now, the song turns into this.
Peppermint Easter's chocolate candy. Champion socks and a girl.
It turns into that, and then the song all of a sudden becomes this.
The monk bought lunch. He bought a little. Yes, he did. Ow! This is the best part of the trip. This is the trip. The best part. I really like it.
The production is amazing. Good organ. Everything is panned. My God, did they pan everything. It's like organ on the left, guitar on the right. Ha! Nice build up. I just love how this organ part. All right. I mean, I'm not going to go on. The build up to that part, and then when it finally starts, like the chanting type of singing with the multi tracks on the vocals, and then just the boom, 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 almost like that, like a common blues progression almost. There's something to be said when a song goes from that to this to this Three completely different songs. Three completely different songs in one. And we've seen artists do this before. I mean, the whole entire album of The Wall, it was Roger Waters not knowing how to finish a song. And you know, that's not me criticizing him. That's him on Howard Stern basically saying that he had no problem starting songs, he had a problem finishing songs. And what I think was brilliant was Roger Waters, when he had all these ideas, he knew how to put them together to kind of create a concept. And that's what I love about this song here, The Soft Parade. It's a bunch of different ideas together. And who says that a song has to be verse, chorus, bridge, chorus? Who says that? Where did that rule come from? You know? So I like how this song is just an amalgam of different ideas put together and from all different genres, and they drew from different types of emotions. It's just, I don't know. I can't really put it, especially how the song ends like this. You feel like you're like riding a horse after a couple glasses of tequila out in the middle of the desert, maybe at night, and you're on some type of quest or some type of journey with other people, you know, and you just dun 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 dun. There's something about this song. I have always thought that this song was like the Doors' absolute, complete, and total best production, and then everything else after it or before it was good. Don't get me wrong. I love, you know, Light My Fire, and I mean, my favorite song aside from this is probably People Are Strange. I just think it is. You know, I'm one of those types of Doors fans. Yeah, I like the Light My Fire and all that stuff. But like, if you heard the song "Your Lost Little Girl," it's just, there's so much. I feel like the Doors, they're one of those bands that they have such iconic hits that have kind of eclipsed all the other stuff that they did. And then, of course, Jim Morrison's behavior, you know, near the end of his career, I think distracted a little bit from the actual music that was taking place. And they did have some songs where I believe that they just put out music because they had to put out music. But I can't think of too many other bands that like have all these hits, but their best stuff is basically stuff that's obscure. And that's what I think about the Doors. So, anyways, I'll put a link down below for the actual song if you want to listen to it. Go ahead. I really recommend just playing this song and just listening to like how it's constructed and how it just jumps from one emotion to the other very quickly. It almost takes you by surprise. But it's proof that there were other bands out there before Queen that were putting together a lot of music that just had a bunch of stuff thrown into one. So I'll put the links down below. Please comment below. Let me know what you think of this song. And if you have any other Doors hits that are obscure, put it down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Again, this is Artie from B Sharp and C. Keep it groovy.